Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, they're holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Hello, everybody. Hi, my friends. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Happy Eve of Thanksgiving. I'm to understand that there are some American cultural events that happen tonight, specifically at bars for kids or people that have left the town to go to university or college. Is that what I'm to understand? And yet tonight is the night of all nights that everybody returns to their homes drunk as skunks. I'm sort of joking, sort of not. I love you guys, but well, we did Thanksgiving, but I'm thankful for each and every one of you for being here. I'm thankful for any excuse, and that's any excuse, to take a holiday. That's the Canadian in me. Always willing to piggyback on somebody else's holiday and take the day off. So I won't be streaming tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday night for you to be recovering from your family's festivities. I hope they all go well. Christopher Engelby, thank you so much for dinner tonight. I have just a little bit left of SpaghettiOs that I made from scratch from pasta that Chris bought me off my Amazon wish list. I updated my Amazon wish list a little bit today with some stuff. You know, Amazon Daddy and I, well, he knows me, I think. But I wish that him and Google would talk more, and then they could know me even better. Regardless, I do hope that you guys all have a wonderful evening. I actually spent all day today getting court. It sounded like, well, I guess there was definitely 3 different things going at once. One computer, second computer, and my phone. So it felt like 6 things going on in my office at once being recorded on different devices. In fact, it was 3. But what that means is that I tripled my production today. I was in 3 places at once, which means that we have 3 times as much court to watch over the dry spell coming up. This holiday that y'all drag into a week. See, I'll just explain something quickly. In Canada, Thanksgiving occurs on a Monday. I think it's like the 2nd Monday of every October. Somebody could look that up. But the point being that the holiday always goes like this. You take off Friday because most people want to have like a long weekend. Schools will always have a pro D day, a professional development day on that. And so nobody's going. So you're already at a 4-day weekend. And then some schools are ballsy. They're getting ballsy. They will literally put 2 pro D days in a row. The gall. When I went to school, they at least sprinkled them throughout the school year. But anyways, that's another rant that I have to go on. But so you go the Thursday-ish, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's a 4-day weekend for the most part. For kids, at least. And, but no more. You would never take off the week of Thanksgiving. and I think that strategically they fucking put it on a Monday because it's much harder to justify the rest of the week. Super easy to justify the rest of the week off when the holiday's a Thursday. Well, who the fuck's coming back for Friday? Nobody. And then it's only 3 days ahead of that. But I guess somebody was smart when they made ours on a Monday. Regardless, I did get a bunch of court from Judge Braun. Like, I haven't watched it yet, so let's watch it together, shall we? Why don't you tell me what you had for dinner? Like I said, I made homemade SpaghettiOs, courtesy of Christopher Angleby. Thank you again, Chris. And yeah, it was pretty good. Let's go. Oh, hold on. Why is my phone going off? Also, I've been working hard trying to figure out the two ladies in this courtroom, what their different roles are. Oh, they speak.
So again, good morning, Andrea.
It's so
The matter of Kayla Ferozi Kluber versus Carlos Morrison.
For the record, this matters before the court on the defendant, Carlos Morrison's objection to a referee recommend order that bench warrant issue for his arrests. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. Sir, you are Carlos.
Hold on. That's really funny because I'm pretty sure everybody objects to a bench warrant being issued for them. But is it often that we hear somebody fight it? I know it's different, but I just found that funny to hear. Judge sounds a little bit frazzled. Look at Christopher Angleby. Streamlabs. Oh. Wow. We're gonna have to talk about this later. Thank you so much, Chris. That is so sweet of you. Oh, it's gonna echo again. A problem. Streamlabs.
Morrison, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have appeared this morning, Mr. Morrison, but nevertheless, it appears that you have significant outstanding arrearages, about over $13,000. Are you currently employed?
I just gained employment.
Does he start Monday? Ladies and gentlemen, bets on if he starts Monday. Looks like Streamlabs wants his job because popped up out of nowhere there. Thank you belatedly, Streamlabs. Sorry, you've been so good lately that I was used to you being on it. Anyways, thank you again, Christopher. Carlos.
Was looking for the previous months, but it's been hard for me to find employment because I don't really have transportation. My license is suspended, so I'm not able to drive myself. So I'm kind of dependent on a friend. He got me the job, and we're going to carpool together. And yeah, I can begin to make payments ASAP. I also told the worker that I would be able to pay like $40, $50 today, but I just really didn't have the means to pay consistently the $497. And it's just last time I did make the payment, when I seen my daughter, she had on some too small shoes. So I took the money that I would pay and bought her shoes and like a few outfits. So I do for my daughter.
That's wonderful, Mr. Morrison.
When I'm with her,
They'll
when
give
I
you
see
credit
her,
against your arrearages.
It's not, it don't even out because y'all want the child support payment, but it's like, I don't know. I was in a rock and a hard place. Like, do I make the payment? And then next time I see my daughter, she got on too small shoes, too small pants, and it's cold outside, So
Okay. All right, you've already told me that, Mr. Morrison. We need payments for his arrearages. When did you receive your last paycheck?
I didn't get a paycheck yet. I start tonight at 10 p.m.
Well, it's not good enough, Mr. Morrison. You've been unemployed figure out what you need to do to straighten out your license.
I tried to call Rebecca Hicks because I went to the Secretary of State and they told me that Monroe had a suspension on it. And
okay, so here's what you do, Mr. Morrison. Ms. Hicks probably tells you she'll release that suspension if you pay a certain sum. So what you do is you reach out to family and friends, get some money together, come in, and that'll straighten out your license. You need to be focused on this obligation.
Yes, Your Honor. I did reach out to her and I didn't receive a call back. I reached out and my mother reached out. And she said that it's not her that suspended my license. I have tried to resolve that matter, Your Honor.
Right.
But I get the runaround, so I'm confused and I haven't tried to move forward with it.
Well, Mr. Morrison, you still live in Dearborn Heights?
You said, can you repeat that?
Do you still live in Dearborn Heights?
Yes, sir.
Okay, move down to Monroe. We got a lot of employers that are screaming for employees. I can get your job today down in Monroe. I can't believe that Dearborn Heights is that much different. You're just not motivated to get a job. You're waiting for the dream job, Mr. Morrison. You can't do that. There are a lot of jobs out there, especially with the holidays coming up. I mean, restaurants look for dishwashers. Don't be so picky about what you do, Mr. Morrison.
I'm not, Your Honor. It's just the transportation, honestly. That's the only reason. I don't have transportation.
You got a bicycle?
No, I don't have a bicycle, Your Honor.
Like buy one. I mean, I'm sure you can borrow a bicycle. People, if there's a will, there's a way, Mr. Morrison.
I got you. I understand.
Mr. Broward, there's a jail time hanging over Mr. Morrison's head. Is that correct? Was he previously found in contempt?
Yes, Your Honor. He was found in contempt on August 29th of 2023. A first finding as
These are all Christmas presents for the Noodle Fund. Thank you, Christopher Engelby. You're so sweet. Have I ever heard the judge say borrow a bicycle to get a job? That's probably true. Like, do it, bruh. I mean, you're talking to somebody who walks or takes the bus or just gets my ass to places. And that's just the way it is. Like, if you don't have a license, even more reason to figure this out. What is he gonna do? Like, just sit around and be like, oh shucks, my life sucks forever. Like, no, dude. Also, if your kid doesn't have the shoes and stuff that are the proper size, and you can't, it just doesn't work like that you pay for it, because you already ruined that chance by not keeping it civil with the mama.
43 days hanging over his head.
All right, so Mr. Morrison, here's the deal. Again, with this new job, do you get paid every week?
Yes, sir.
So when do you get paid next?
Probably I start this
you don't
week.
know when you say probably, and you've not started the job yet, correct? You say you start tonight?
Yeah, I start tonight.
Okay, and with whom? Who's the employer?
Champion Foods in New Boston, Michigan.
What are you doing for Champion Foods?
We make frozen pizzas that go to the grocery store, and we make pizza crust for Little Caesars.
Are you going to be working 40 hours a week?
Probably more than that, because they say overtime is mandatory.
So what are you working, nights, midnights,
Yeah,
or what? Afternoons?
Nights.
How much should we be paid per hour?
Around, I believe, 16, 15.
Who is supporting you right now?
Myself and my girlfriend. Like I get.
Okay, someone's putting a roof over your head. Someone's feeding you. You look well nourished, Mr. Morrison. So your girlfriend supporting you?
My girlfriend does pay the bills, but I will get the food for the house.
Ms. Brown, what's the outstanding balance of arrears approximately? Is it still about $13,500?
His current balance as of today is $15,222.79. Of that amount, $14,725.79 is arrears.
When's the last payment that your office received from Mr. Morrison?
He made a $500 payment in the month of June 2024.
Right, Mr. Morrison, the Attorney General, you're going to be on the radar. Attorney General is going to charge you with a felony non-support for which you go to prison. You're on the radar, so I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to have you come down here with a lump sum to avoid jail, and if you do that, it's to get your arrears down, so you avoid the Attorney General charging with felony non-support. So when do you get paid? What day of the week? Friday?
I believe Friday or Thursday. Yeah, I can get that information to you a little later because my my HR worker or whatever you call them said they were going to call me at 7 with more job details.
All right. All right, Mr. Morrison, you got 43 days hanging over your head. The court's going to order you personally appear to serve some time in jail a week from Friday, December 6th. I'm going to give you some time, Mr. Morrison, to reach out to your girlfriend, family, and friends to get some money together. Come down with a lump sum cash or be prepared to serve some time in jail. That's December 6th at 11:15. And we'll get you out of jail before lunchtime. You need to appear personally. Monroe County Courthouse, 4th floor, Judge Bronk, Friday, December 6th, 11:15. And what's the current monthly support, Ms. Brower? Is it all arrears?
It's $497 per month.
All right, Mr. Morrison, you're sitting on your hands. If you've been unemployed for 6 months, you should file a motion to reduce your support. Right now, it's clicking along at $497 a month. You can do yourself a favor by filing a motion to reduce your support, saying, I don't have a license, I can't find a job, I'm unemployment, I don't have any income, I'm on food stamps, I want to reduce my child support. Right now, you should come down to the courthouse today to do that. The sooner you file it, the sooner it goes retroactive. If you wait a week to do that, you're going to pay another month of child support. So the court's going to order you personally appear December 6th and be prepared to pay $1,500 cash toward your arrears or be prepared to bring a toothbrush. Understood?
Got you. Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm giving you a week. I'm giving you a week and a half, Ms. Morrison, to get together $1,500. $1,500 you need to bring down cash on December 6th. If so, the court will simply give another hearing date. You can avoid any further jail. If you don't have the $1,500, you're going to go to jail. I don't know how many days. It depends how much you can pay that day.
Okay.
The court wants you to keep your job and get out. If you come down next week, you got $1,500. Come down, we can take care of it sooner. You just got to talk with Ms. Hicks and the court. We can do this sooner than next Friday. If you come down, say on Monday, you got $1,500. We can.
Amazing NPC. That's so awesome. I saw some familiar names in there. Gifting 5 memberships. I'm so excited. Yay.
And adjourn the matter, and you can pick up a packet to reduce your support. You can do it all at one time. File a motion to reduce your child support. Be smart, Mr. Morrison. You're sitting on your hands. You're just digging the hole deeper by doing nothing. Do you have any questions, Mr. Morrison?
Yes, I've been meaning to ask. For the motions for me to file, can I do it online or I have to get it from the courthouse?
Ms. Brown, do you know, can you file such a motion online?
The packets are available on our website. It does need to be submitted to the courthouse in writing. You can't submit that online. So you can mail it in, or you can bring it to the courthouse.
You get the forms online, Mr. Morrison, but you come down here and get a copy of the forms. The front court will even assist you. They give you a packet, a support packet you can fill out, and you got to follow the clerk's office. So you got to come down here to really complete the whole process. So the court's suggesting, and we'll get them ordered to appear Friday, December 6th at 11:15. It's a week from Friday. And if you want to avoid jail, then you need to bring $1,500 cash to apply toward your arrearages and file a motion to reduce your support. The court suggests we can do that, get the money together, come down on Monday or Tuesday. We take care of it before Friday.
Okay, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, with respect to the recommended order, Mrs. Brower, what do we do with that? I guess, court should adopt the roughly recommended order. Even though Mr. Morrison's appeared today, we can cancel it on Friday if he appears, correct?
Typically, we would set aside the authorization and treat it as a show cause contempt hearing next Friday.
Okay, that's fine. So do you need
I'll
to prepare a
prepare the order
recommended
for
order?
you. Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, Mr.
You're welcome.
Morrison, you're all set. Have a good Thanksgiving and do reach out to family and friends, get that $1,500 together.
Will do.
All right, see you next week.
All right.
Will he do, though? Do we think he will do? That's the question I have. I just don't get the vibe that he will. But I have been wrong before, and I've been wrong. I'm sure I'll be wrong many times. 007, you're making me laugh. Did anybody have a bar, like, light fixture, not a ceiling fan, but like ceiling light fixture directly overhead on their bingo card? I know that's oddly specific, but these bingo cards are fucking nuts. The two lady lawyers going at it. I know, Maria says. I know. Have you guys seen that girl on TikTok or YouTube Shorts whose lip reads like situations where we don't have the audio?
Hey, Erin, real quick,
Oh.
since Judge is not on the bench yet,
Shut up.
Yes.
we have not been getting orders via email like we were for a while. Has something changed?
We do have someone else sending them out.
Okay.
I'll double check with Patrice to
Okay.
see if she's still emailing them.
Okay. Because for a while we were very consistently getting them from Michael Giggard, usually the very next day. And it's been a long time. Like I can
Jennifer John sends them out now.
Can you perhaps check and see what email address of mine she's using? Okay.
Yes, I'll talk to Patrice about it this morning and then see if we can figure it out.
Okay, because the last one I got from Michael Giggard was October 23rd. And I
Okay.
have this recurring issue. Oh, Judge is on the bench.
Go ahead, you can finish, Ms. Nemec, that's fine.
Oh, I was just letting her know I have a recurring issue with a decade, 15-year-old email address, like stuck in the county system. And so and we cannot purge it for some reason. So sometimes people use it. And I think maybe that's why I'm not getting orders anymore.
Okay, yeah, we'll check on it.
Okay, thanks.
Calling the matter of Corinne Baldwin Barabic versus Carl Barabic.
For the record, this matter is before the court on the defendant's motion to modify child support. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. Present is Attorney Kirsten Nemec, representing the defendant petitioner Carl Barbaric. Mr. Barbaric is present. In addition, Attorney Maria Zagorski is present, representing the plaintiff Corinne Baldwin Barbaric. Good morning, Ms. Nemec and Ms. Zagorski.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, the parties have conferred with Ms. Brower from front of the court, who's provided the court with the following recommendation. That the party shall mediate the issues of parenting time as well as child support with Ms. Stephanie LaPrade on Friday, January 17th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. In the interim, the children shall attend school every day on time unless a doctor's notice provided. The party shall not discuss finances or any aspect of this case with minor children. The party shall not negotiate parenting time through the children. Seems all appropriate. Ms. Nemec, is this recommendation agreeable with your client this morning?
It's not agreeable, but there are some requests that I have. First, the minor children are 15 and 17, and the current parenting time order is reasonable and liberal, which I believe is appropriate for children this age. Ms. Baldwin has indicated that she is requesting specific parenting time, and of course, that's her right. Our motion was not to modify parenting time because, again, I believe that reasonable and liberal is appropriate with children this age. And it's been working out. The children have been moving back and forth between the parties' homes since Mr. Barbarich's return to the Monroe County area in June, up and until he filed this motion. At which point Ms. Baldwin has started to tell the children that they cannot go to dad's house. She is claiming today it's because the children are late to school when they are in his care, so on and so forth. The children have been late to school in both parties' care. The children have missed school in both parties' care. One of the children has a little bit of a rebellious streak, and he has done things like sneak out of the house or, skip school. He's done that. He's snuck out of Miss Baldwin's house. So there's a lot of focus now saying that Ms. Baldwin is preventing the children from coming over to Mr. Barbarich's home out of concern for them. And of course, because parenting time is reasonable and liberal, she's able to do that. I just want some instruction from the court, if possible, that it's not appropriate. These children should be able to see both parents, and at 15 and 17 should have a say. I would like to see an investigation, and I would like to see the children interviewed, because at 15 and 17, I think that their input is important. These are not 5-year-olds. They are 15 and 17-year-olds. We asked for an investigation. Ms. Baldwin objected. I'm sure we'll hear the objection on the record. But I do think it would be informative. We've got plenty of time to get that done ahead of the mediation scheduled in January.
All right. We'll hear from Ms. Gorski, but also what about, the party talked about more supporting about the holidays. We have Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. Do we need to, if we need a specific schedule, let's at least address those holidays if we need
Judge,
to.
the parties use the front of the court holiday schedule. Dad
Yeah.
has Thanksgiving and so he'll see
Okay.
the boys for 4 weeks, or excuse me, 4 days starting tonight.
That's
Okay.
accurate. It's in the judgment of divorce.
All right. So obviously the remainder of the recommendations, agreeable, Ms. Significant, asking the court to simply order that the parenting time issue be referred to the front of the court with the children to be interviewed. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right.
And I would like Ms. Baldwin not to interfere with Mr. Barbarich's parenting time. If the children request to go to Mr. Barbarich's, I would like that to be allowed, given that we have an order that says the children have to be to school on time. The children have to go to school unless they have a doctor's note. I think that should be sufficient to address any concerns she has or the allegations that she's making that those things occur only when they're in Mr. Barbarich's care, which is not factual.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Gorski.
Yeah, that's the antithesis of what's needed in this case, Judge. My client feels very strongly that the last thing that should happen is that the boys should be put in the middle. That's what's causing the problem now. The communication about parenting time is going through the children and not the parents. The children are driving the bus, and that has to stop. These children are 15 and 17, but they're still minors. And as I said to counsel, teenagers need more supervision than toddlers. The parents need to be communicating. And the problem has been that dad talks to the boys about coming over. And then when mom reasonably says that doesn't work for this reason or this reason, then the boys get angry at her. It's been complete manipulation of these children. And the goal here is to take them out of that. So referring it to the front of the court so that they think that they have an even bigger voice and that they get to decide what's best for them is the antithesis of what should happen. I've attached the text. Dad lets them go to concerts on school nights and he's gone for work before they get up in the morning, so they don't have to go to school when they're at his house. That's been the problem, and that's what the evidence would show. So I would respectfully request that the parenting time be coordinated through the adults and not through the children. There's no need to spend time and money on a front of the court investigation when the children should have less say about what's occurring here. It's time for the parents to step up and do their job.
Well, but then for that reason, perhaps we need a specific parenting time schedule. What has been the practice of the parties the last 2 or 3 months?
The children have been spending, per my client, fairly equal time with him. As I stated before, at the time of the entry of the judgment of divorce, Mr. Barbarich did not live in the Monroe County area, and he also worked midnights. And so he wasn't able to exercise overnights with the children. Obviously, they were younger at that time as well. He since moved into the county in June, and since that time, increasingly, the boys have been spending more and more time with him. They haven't worked out any type of specific schedule because they were kind of just allowed to say, hey, I want to go over to dad's. Hey, I want to go over to mom's. And that was working out until Mr. Barberich filed this motion.
Judge, we're mediating the issue of a specific schedule in January. My client has facilitated his parenting time and will continue to do so. The problem is, like I said, when the boys don't go to school or when dad lets them do whatever they want on school nights, that's the issue, which is why we suggested every other weekend until we get to mediation. And then we can figure out something more than that when we can encompass the summer and other times.
I would disagree that mom has been facilitating dad's parenting time. She has been actively preventing his parenting time since the filing of this motion. I wouldn't disagree to ordering a specific parenting time schedule to get us through to the mediation, but Mr. Barberich has been exercising fairly equal parenting time. We admit that he didn't prior because he worked midnights and he did not live in the county, but he has been Ms. Gorski. He has been for the last few months. And again, while I understand she's requested a specific parenting time schedule, she's entitled to a specific parenting time schedule. I don't know that it's necessary, but I know that I cannot prevent it. I really think the children have been thriving under the current situation. I don't think that Mr. Barberich has communicated with them inappropriately about spending time at his house. Again, this is a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old, and quite honestly, the communication between the parties is abysmal. It's absolutely terrible. So he cannot rely on Ms. Baldwin to facilitate his parenting time or communicate with the children for him. He has a direct line to the children himself. He's not attempting to manipulate the children. He's spending time with his children. They are equally his as much as they are Ms. Baldwin's.
I don't know how you argue that my client doesn't facilitate parenting time and that they've been exercising 50-50, Ms. Nemec. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I'll clear it up for you.
Excuse me. The truth is, he bought a house in town, which is great. My client said, wonderful, boys, start spending time at your dad's. And they did, and it didn't work, which is why she's asking for a specific schedule. It didn't work because they were missing school, because they were late for school, because they didn't have the guidance that teenagers need. And so we need to put some rules in place. At the same time, dad was communicating through the kids, and they know how to work it. They're teenagers. That's what has to stop.
They were missing school and skipping school while they were in Miss Baldwin.
That is absolutely not true.
Well, the evidence.
Okay, it's not like we need to establish a specific schedule this morning. What has been the past practice since July, Ms. Nemec?
Mr. Barberich, can you isolate days of the week that
I'm going to put you back and break over this bar. The court wants a specific schedule now between the time you mediate. That's how we're going to take the children out of this. And the court's not going to order they've been interviewed. If we cannot resolve in mediation, then the court can at that time ask that the children be interviewed. But I want to set a specific schedule between now and that mediation date. And if that takes the children out of it, and I think both parties are better served by having a specific schedule today. So Ms. Brown, if you can talk further about a specific schedule, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
If they're not recommend, I'd like to see what the party's been practicing. Try to be consistent. What's best for each other's work schedules.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
I'm trying to bring your people in. I know we're late.
Well, can I speak to the judge real quick, Sarah, before you do that?
Good morning, Ms. Patrick.
Morning, Your Honor.
Which case is this?
Well, we got two
Oh.
cases.
The 9:30.
The 9:30.
On this case, Your Honor, I was going over it last night. This is the one where they had been here previously. It came through the process.
They cut us out. But I have another one. Brittany and Jeremy, they fucked a couple times. Ostensibly, there's a child of theirs running around. Oh my. Probably me, Cellulite Yoga Pants. I probably need to be muted. I don't know why I'm making things rhyme all the time. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. We've all been sending good vibes. Judge, you coming? What is that? Is she vaping? She's vaping in court. Vaping in court. Vaping in her car in court. Me too, girl. He's vaping too? I didn't even remember that my picture wasn't on the screen. Where's the judge? I can't believe these two fucked. She's off to get him. Round the bend. Judge, hurry up. There is no end. It's Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Come on, we got to get going.
Calling the matter of Brittany Beers versus Jeremy Raditz.
For the record, this matter is before the court on the defendant, Jeremy Raditz's motion to revoke paternity. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. It appears that both parties are present. Brittany Beers as well as Jeremy Raditz. The parties have conferred with Ms. Patrick for the front of the court this morning. Ms. Patrick has provided the court with fine recommendation that the defendant's motion to revoke parentage be granted, as defendant is not the biological father of the minor child based upon DNA testing, that this case be dismissed. Mr. Raditz, this is what you're requesting, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Beers, are you agreeable with this recommendation?
Yes.
For the record, the court recognizes this child is 12 years old. Normally, the courts would not allow such relief, but the court is of the recollection that this minor child, Aubrey, does not look to father Mr. Raditz as a father figure. Is that correct, Ms. Beers?
Correct.
And Mr. Raditz, you have really no relationship with this child. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Of course, you allegedly signed an acknowledgement of paternity when the child was born. That's why you are named as a defendant in this support action. But the court is in receipt of a DNA test report. That's contained in the court file, dated October 4th, 2024, referencing the minor child and both parents, and indicates a 0% probability of paternity. And Ms. Severes, the court recalls you previously alleged that one Brandon Thornton is the biological father of this child. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does Mr. Thornton have any relationship with Aubrey?
He's in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. More
Okay.
out than in.
All right. Well, and you're aware that, of course, if this relief is granted, that this case will be closed, and you'll need to, when assistance is cut off with my child, you need to come back in front of the court and name the bio dad, and they need to start an action against Brandon Thornton. You understand that?
Yes.
Right. Very well, the court will grant the relief requested. The court determines that defendant Jeremy Raditz is not the biological father of the minor child Aubrey. His motion to revoke parentage is granted. This case is dismissed. Right, you both be sent a copy of this order.
Big D.
The child has the last name of Raditz, but if you want that changed, I guess you perhaps have to talk to an attorney.
Okay.
Change that name. All right. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right, now conclude this matter. You can both zoom out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Patrick.
Oh my god, happy Thanksgiving, NPC. You're so sweet. Yay, that's so nice of you. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, my friend. Always lighting up my life, making me smile. Let's keep going. Who else came under the judge's fire today? He normally doesn't do that, but then again, hold on. I'm trying to find that image case. Is it this one? Could it be? Could they have come back so quickly? Let's find out, you and me. Together, we shall see.
I would think it'd be quick with Presto.
What, Judge?
Oh, okay. Something I said to this. Well, again, but see, I look at the motion, but the motion was not served on her. So sometimes she may be represented in the past, a year ago.
There's no withdrawal.
They don't, family court matters are challenging because they come in and out.
Like, so not this past one, but the one before that she's on.
Right. Yeah, I just, obviously she was not served with this notice. She's not filed responsive pleading, so that's what I look at.
Okay.
And it's just because she was in it before, back in,
See, and that's like a catch-22 because like.
right.
See, and
She was involved when the original order was entered in 2023. But again, that's the same with these family court cases. They're never done. They're never done.
Right, true that.
So sometimes the old attorney that represented him in the original divorce will pop back in, sometimes not.
Right.
But again,
So
I just,
how do I fix that?
well, again, I look at the motion. She's not
Okay.
referenced, she's
But then
not
if I
served.
don't put them on there and they do
Well,
end up representing
well,
them.
if she files a responsive pleading, then we know. And usually I'll let Sarah know at the last minute if they file a responsive pleading that we got an attorney on
Right.
that. But
Okay.
otherwise, I would say no attorney because there's no attorney served. There's just the other side in pro per.
So they don't necessarily have to have a withdrawal in there. A
Correct.
motion to withdraw.
Correct. Because they're done. An order was entered back in 2023.
Right.
Support order, the custody order.
We just go by the last pleading if there's no other attorney on there. You don't
Well,
put them on.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
yeah, the motion for the, just look at the file, and the motion right here, that's filed, that was served upon the other side, not any attorney. And the attorney did not file a response to it. So that tells me there's no attorney. Nimick represented him in 2023.
I think she's the coordinator. She's the one booking his schedule and putting them stuff in his queue, I think.
When they're done off the case, their name should come in. It shouldn't show that they're still represented.
Okay, I guess we could bring them in and see if they've got an agreement. Have they talked? Okay. Okay. So yeah, bring
I
them. So
want
we
a
have the
heated
Sunday night,
mess.
bring them all in. I'm gonna tell them, we're gonna put them in a breakout room so they can all three talk. And we're waiting for a friend of the court rep. Maybe they can then have their own agreement. They put the record and they turn to concur the order.
She has snacks in her top drawer too. India. Okay. And then also, I want a heated vest for my life.
Hello?
Hello.
Court will call the case of India Sundermeyer versus Noah Harris.
Yes, sir.
This matter is before the court on the plaintiff's motion to modify custody, period of time, and child support. The hearing is being conducted via Zoom. President Attorney Bert Whitehead. Mr. Whitehead is present, and Ms. Sundermeyer is present. And Noah Harris, you're present on audio, is that correct?
I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying, sir.
Are you Noah Harris?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Mr. Whitehead, we've been doing Zoom for all proceedings for the last 5 years. You did not provide Zoom instructions. Both parties appeared personally today, and they're both upset that they were told they had to go appear on Zoom. I think you've been to this court before. You're appearing by Zoom. Why would you not instruct the parties with Zoom instructions with your
Honor,
notice of hearing?
because when we had, Your Honor, I apologize for that, but when we emailed the court and asked for a court date, we were given the court date, and then I wrote an email specifically that said could I appear via Zoom? We were not giving Zoom instructions at the time, so then I
I asked
emailed
for
her.
them. We've been doing things, every case other than the trial, all motion hearings are by Zoom, 100% of them, Mr. Whitehead. It's been since 2018. So always ask, make inquiry. I understand some courts may be in person, but not this
Yeah.
court. So
So,
in any event,
yeah,
both parties were not pleased when they appeared this morning and were to send back home. In any event, we were
I
backed up this morning. The
apologize.
front of the court is short. So I'm going to have you talk with Mr. Harris, Mr. Whitehead, see if you can come to an agreement. If so, we can bring you back out, but we're short in terms of front of the court talking with the parties.
I
And
understand.
basically, you're alleging that dad is not exercising parenting time the last 2 months. Is that correct, Mr. Harris, that you've not been exercising parenting time?
I'm sorry, Judge. I can't understand a word you're saying. The audio coming from you is all muffled and it sounds very robotic. I really am having a hard time hearing the words you're saying and making out what you're saying to me.
Okay, can you get on a different device? Are you in here in the
Okay,
courthouse, Mr. Harris?
I was in the courthouse. I had to come home because my phone was dying and my microphone is malfunctioning. So I came home to get a different microphone to hook up to my phone to call in. I am at home now. I'm going to try to hook up to the computer and see if I can get on that way.
That might be better. Mr. Harris, Miss
Yes, sir.
Sondermeyer is alleging that you've not been exercising your parenting time the last 2 months, so they want to modify parenting time to be consistent with what you've been doing. Is that true?
Yes, sir. I have not seen Clayton since August
Okay, and why is that?
because I was recommended by the police for the well-being of my other children to not bring him around the home. So I've made attempts to contact him, and I tried to see him on his birthday, and I was denied. I've been denied phone calls. That
I
is
don't know
why
what you're
I
talking
haven't
about.
seen him.
Yeah, you're saying the police told you not to exercise parenting time?
I'm sorry?
You say indicate the police told you not to exercise parenting time?
They told me to think about the well-being of my other children and that it's not safe for Clayton to be in this home because of the way he's treating the other children. He's touching them in a sexual way.
And
He's sexually assaulting my other children. And so I can't have him in the house around the other children, but that doesn't mean I can't see him or talk to him. So I've tried to make phone calls and I'm trying to do what I can to be there and help him, but I don't think he's safe.
If I may say, I have not.
Mr. Hold on, Ms. Sondermeyer, just please.
Yes.
Mr. Harris, you have parenting time alternating weekends. I'm sorry, every weekend, Friday to Monday. So I'm not sure why you're not exercising that parenting time. All right, I'm not sure if the three of you can reach an agreement. Mr. Harris, you're going to change your device to get on your computer. Is that correct? And zoom in?
Just 1 second, please. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're going to put you back in the breakout room. Why don't you get on your computer, zoom back in, and we'll wait for someone from the front of the court to speak with the three of you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. And sorry about the mix-up. I thought I was only approved for me to join Zoom and that the parties would still have to be in person, but I apologize for that.
Okay, we'll put you in a breakout room.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez, Louise. I did not see that coming. I don't know that I got more of them. I just had 2 more from today for him. We'll watch those 2.
Sarah, should I go handle the 10 o'clock?
Yeah, they're in room 1.
Okay, if Judge needs me, just chat me and I'll come out.
Okay.
Those bookshelves always worry me. I live in an earthquake prone city, So it's just a fucking, everything on there is a nightmare.
Calling the matter, Kevin Brooks versus Alyssa Collinsworth.
For the record, this matter is before the court on the plaintiff's motion to modify custody and parenting time. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. Present is Attorney Anthony Bresco, representing the plaintiff moving party, Kevin Brooks. Mr. Brooks appears to be present with Mr. Bresco. In addition, Mother Alyssa Collinsworth is also present. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Your Honor.
The parties have conferred this morning with Ms. Barr from the front of the court, has provided the court the following recommendation: that the parties continue to share joint legal custody, but physical custody shall be awarded to the plaintiff father on a temporary basis without prejudice. Parenting time on a temporary basis without prejudice shall be every Tuesday and Thursday after school to 8:30 p.m. and every Saturday 10 a.m. to Sunday at 10 a.m. Mother shall have additional parenting time as the parties can agree. The party shall appear back for court to review parenting time on February 4th, 2025 at 9 a.m. via Zoom. Mr. Bresco, is this recommendation agreeable with your client?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Collinsworth, do you understand this recommendation this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any objection to, or are you agreeable with the court adopting this recommendation as an order of the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what is your objection?
Oh, I meant I agree. I'm sorry.
Oh, you agree? Okay. Mr. Bresco, is this not?
Sherry, that's really, 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 really funny. But they're mostly law books that come in sets because they're volumes of the same laws or whatever. So each color is actually like one statute maybe, or one, like, I don't know what they call them. Sites, I think. Yeah, they're a flex, but the flex in the shelves is actually a reverse humble brag. It just screams poor. Like, in order to buy all those books, you also have to buy a really, really good bookshelf that's strong as fuck. And this one ain't it. It ain't it. And I guess maybe people, like, he never notices it, but to me, it's like the first thing I see.
The same parenting time schedule set forth in the August 2020 judgment divorce?
No, Your Honor, it is a different parenting time schedule that has been mostly adopted since the judgment of divorce. In the judgment of divorce, the parenting time schedule was that dad was awarded parenting time with the minor children that consisted of 3 overnights a week on the days he was not working in the night shift. But this is what they've been doing for the most part. It has changed from time to time, but the majority of the time, this is the parenting time schedule that's been taking place since that entry, Your Honor.
Thank you. Was there any discussion this morning about who can claim children as dependents for tax purposes for 2024, or was that addressed in the judgment?
I don't know if we each get one. They're rotating the children, Your Honor, and there's no issue with that. The purpose of today's motion was simply to codify an agreement that they've been exercising for a very long time and reduce it to writing. And we've decided not just to immediately make the change, but to modify it, observe some behavior, and make sure everything's going well for all the parties involved. And that's why we're going to come back in February and take a look at this again.
All right, very well. Ms. Collinsworth, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, the court will adopt the recommendation, and we'll see one back here on February 4th at 9 a.m. Thank you, Mr. Bresco.
Thank you.
Last clip of the night.
For the record, this matter is before the court on a number of issues. Defendant's motion for her to show cause, plaintiff's motion for her to show cause, modified custody, child support, school district, This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. Both parties are present, as well as attorney Leah Worka. Ms. Worka represents the defendant, Father Barry Ellison. Ms. Hills, the plaintiff's attorney, Ms. Williams' attorney, is stuck in Judge Arnold's court on another matter, so she's not immediately available. But Ms. Worka, you have filed or you will be filing a motion to withdraw, or have you done that?
Your Honor, it was filed yesterday.
Okay, it's not yet in the court file. Did you serve a copy of that motion upon Mr. Ellison?
I did, Your Honor, via email, as well as Ms. Hills via email. I apologize, Your Honor. We did file it yesterday afternoon. I thought my staff had brought a judge's copy up for you at least yesterday. If that didn't occur, I apologize.
I was told that there may be one filed. Mr. Ellison, have you received a copy of the motion filed by Ms. Worka asking that she be permitted to withdraw as your attorney of record this morning?
I think she did, but I haven't looked at it.
Okay. Do you have any objection to her withdrawing as your attorney?
Yes, I do. She, if she doesn't want to be my attorney, she has to terminate on her own because I'm not terminating.
Well, that's what she's done. She is asking this court to allow her to withdraw.
Right.
She's asking, she no longer feels she can represent you, and she's asked to withdraw.
Right. I just want on record that she's withdrawing. I didn't fire her.
Okay. Ms. Worka, do you want to talk with Mr. Ellison in the breakout room, the two of you?
No, Your Honor. I don't believe the breakdown of this attorney-client relationship can be cured at this point.
Okay. So you believe that the relationship between you and Mr. Ellison is such that you cannot, in good faith, continue to adequately represent him? Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand that, Mr. Ellison?
I don't feel she did in good faith any representation, Your Honor.
Okay. So again, you have no objection to her withdrawing. You're just saying for the record, you're not firing her, but you have no objection to her leaving and no longer acting as your attorney. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right. The court will grant the motion. Ms. Worka, you will submit an order to the court permitting you to withdraw as the attorney of record for Mr. Ellison. And we'll have Mr. Ellison represent himself then this morning on these matters. As soon as we can get Ms. Hills back here.
With that being said, Your Honor, is it possible to have a schedule a new day because I got nothing. I have no attorney at this point.
Your Honor, I did submit proposed orders with the motion to withdraw. I will check to see to ensure that those are with the motion wherever that wound up with the clerk's office yesterday.
Okay. Well, Mr. Williams, why don't you, let's wait for Ms. Hills to come in. The three of you can at least talk. And yes, if you need more time to contact an attorney, we can discuss that. And we can, the court would allow that. Other than these matters have been kicked down the street quite a bit.
Yeah, I didn't plan on this. As I say, I found out like in the last 30 hours at the most. So.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna put you back and break our room, the two of you, and when Ms. Hills gets there, you can just tell Ms. Hills you want to retain another attorney. And maybe there's some issues that the small issues that we can maybe agree upon today. So hang on, then Mr. Ellison and Mr. Williams, we'll wait for Ms. Hills to reappear, but Ms. Worka, you can zoom out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, NPC. What a wonderful way to end the evening. Not with you coughing, Sharon.
Was she meeting with Senator Meyer? Okay.
This judge is full of tea, I would bet. I think he's done unless we hear these ladies talk a little bit. 10th? Who sells weed in 10ths? I've never heard of that. You mean like grams? But how much is to buy 3.5 grams? I bet they sell 3.5. 3.5 grams. When I was in Chicago, I've told the story before. When I was in Chicago, it was a long time ago, before weed was legal. You know. Man, can you not cough while I'm talking? Anyways, it was before weed was legal. It was a long time ago, back in 2016. And I was looking for marijuana to smoke. Oh. They're screaming, which is so helpful. Anyways, I was looking for weed to smoke. I finally found some after a very long search. And the guy that sold it to me said, all I got's a tray 5. A tray 5. And I said, what is that? A tray 5. Did you hear me yell, even though I muted it? A tray 5. And I said, what the fuck's a tray 5? And it turns out tray 5 is 3.5, which is an 1/8 in weed language. Anyways, 5 pre-rolls, a tray 5, 3.5. We learned something that day. First of all, we called that guy back immediately. We're like, we need more weed. And he's like, you guys are my best customers already. I was like, yeah. Anyways, that's because there's 3.5 grams in an 1/8, a tray 5, if you will. Anyways, I hope that you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving, okay? Be safe, please. Don't start any fights at Thanksgiving, and don't drink and drive. That's a bad idea. Yeah, it's French for 3.5 or Spanish for 3.5. You know what I mean. Anyways, yeah, please be safe. Have a really good weekend. Not weekend. Thanksgiving. I'll be back before the weekend. I'm back on Friday night. We're gonna have a great. It's a long divorce, so buckle up, buttercups. We got a new divorce case coming, but I think we're gonna enjoy it. We're also gonna learn some more lore about Judge DJ Kometz. Okay, so have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Remember that I love you. I am proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Okay? Bye. Oh, shoot. I said goodbye.
Ways down